On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm America's sweetheart, Spencer Henry.
And I'm Science and Death hot girl, Madison Reyes.
Hey, we like that. Hey, that's something. Oh my God, before we even get started, I posted on Instagram today. I don't know if you saw on our stories. I had a little questionnaire I put up that said, ask us a question.
Oh, okay.
And we got a lot of really good questions, some wild questions. And I thought it'd be fun if we answered a few. So maybe we can start doing that every once in a while.
I love that.
A little icebreaker activity.
Okay, what are they?
Let's see. I'm just gonna pick some at random.
Okay.
This one's good. This says, what's the strangest quirk of an ex that really bothered you?
Oh. I have one that immediately comes to mind.
Tell us.
I had an ex-boyfriend who would leave me fucking voicemails of him singing. Like, if we were in a fight, I would get like, I wrote this song for you. And I would sit there like, oh,
if somebody did that to me, my would crawl inside of my body.
Spencer, that's why he's an ex. I hated it.
I wish you still had them.
I know.
You gotta look for them.
I do. I remember my sister would be like, are you fucking kidding me? What is this? Like, I would play it for her.
I remember with voicemails in general, God, so dramatic. But I think in like middle school, maybe I had It Ends Tonight by the All American Rejects as my, remember people would put songs as their voicemail?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So hurt.
So hurt. Voicemails are actually a big deal because I was a crazy bitch when I first started dating my husband.
Uh-huh.
And I would break up with him.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going through it, okay? I had just finished college, had no clue what I was going to do. Still, I mean, you know, we still don't know what we're doing. But I remember I would just keep breaking up with him. I blocked him. I was just like going through it. Like I was not very nice to him. And I remember I got a voicemail from a number. Now I know that it was from a payphone outside of a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I still have that voicemail, and it was my now husband like, can you just stop? Like, you're insane. And
Madison needed to work through some things before she could commit, okay?
Yes, so I still have that voicemail. I save so many voicemails. I just didn't save the ex singing because it's terrible.
Bad choice. You should have kept it. I know. You would have needed it one day.
I know. What about you?
Oh, God. One of my exes, the much older ex, I've told you about him. He had this quirk where he would sleep with other people. It was the quirkiest thing.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, I want to be exclusive. And I said, okay, 33-year-old guy while I was 19. Sure.
That's already a red flag.
It was only me, though. I was the only one that was supposed to be exclusive.
I see. Okay.
Foolish me.
Aw, little quirky guy.
Well, R.I.P. to him. Literally. Horrible. He was a really sweet guy. He was.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on. Oh, merch. People are asking about merch.
We have got to get on it, guys.
We have so many ideas.
We're gonna figure it out, and we will have merch for you by summer.
Yes. Hey, that's a good goal. By summer. We are on Twitter now.
We are on Twitter. Okay, guys, P.O. box.
Mm-hmm.
I got us a P.O. box, and then they wanted 2 forms of identity. And you know what? I don't have it.
Let this be a lesson, ladies. Don't let your husband put everything in his name.
Yeah, like they wanted utility bills, everything. I'm like, I don't have any of that in my name. So then I had to cancel the P.O. box, and Spencer's going to go and do it.
Everybody out there, you should always have something in your name. And then we'll end with this one. It says, which death industry jobs would you two pick if you had to choose?
Oh, okay. I automatically think of crime scene cleanup because I love to clean.
You would be really good at that, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe the better choice for me would be like a mortician because I have done makeup for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
Death industry jobs. I'm like wondering.
Aren't we kind of in a death industry job?
Technically.
Death positivity, baby.
Yes, we are all about death positivity. I think I would like to be a professional mourner. Or no, you know what I would want to be? I'd want to be the one who goes and tells the person's like secret or whatever.
A coffin confessor.
Coffin confessor.
Yes.
I would want to be a coffin confessor.
I would be afraid to be one, but I think you would be great.
Oh, thank you.
You've got balls.
Hey, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Last I checked. All right. Well, that was fun. So if you guys have, maybe we'll throw that up every once in a while. Look for that on Thursday afternoons, and we'll see about maybe throwing some more questions.
Yeah, I actually love that. Speaking of,
Speaking of, we're going to Google like different ways to segue.
because I've only got one.
You got to say, oh, well, that actually leads me to.
That reminds me.
Ooh, good one.
A Geoff wrote into us about a funeral, and it was chaotic, and I have got to read it. It is
my God.
Absolutely hilarious.
Tell me, babe. I want to hear it.
All right, our Geoff Madeline. Hey, love your name.
Hey, I know a Madeline.
Well, I'm not a Madeline.
What's your name? How'd you get in here?
She wrote, okay, so I have got a pretty insane funeral story to share. So my husband's childhood best friend was a pallbearer at a funeral for an elderly woman in a small town. We will call her Betty for anonymity. And I know how to say it and how it's supposed to come out, but I can't. Anonymity purposes. During the funeral ceremony, as the preacher was in the middle of the eulogy, the double doors in the back of the church flew open. Everyone turns their heads to see what the commotion is all about. The doors had been kicked in by a woman who proceeded to run down the aisle, yelling, and this bitch jumps into the open casket.
No.
That's right. This woman threw herself face first into a coffin with a corpse.
Oh.
Everyone screamed. The casket fell sideways and the body flopped halfway out of the casket.
Oh my God.
Arms hanging out and the head now looking towards the audience.
No.
To make this story even weirder, the woman was wearing a dress and a fucking cape.
A cape?
Mm-hmm.
She was on a mission. She said, I'm kicking those fucking doors and I'm wearing a cape and I'm just hopping right in there.
The woman was detained by some of the funeral attendants and the cops were called. She was arrested shortly after. Turns out the cape lady was the estranged daughter of Betty, who was not invited to the funeral.
Oh.
I'm not too sure about the details of their strained relationship, but I can only infer due to the story I just told you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this story as much as I did the first time I heard it. So wild.
That is fucking insane. You know what it reminded me of? You talked about it on an early episode. It might have been the Weird Laws one where women would throw themselves on top of their husbands, burning whatever.
Yeah, it's called sati. It's widow burning.
Fucking crazy. As per new tradition, I have some Am I the Asshole segments for us.
Yeah,
I have them just for us.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes. So this one says, am I the asshole for including too many people in an obituary? My 43-year-old female, My mother, 66-year-old female, passed away last week. She had recently reunited with her estranged sister, 68, after 10 years or so of no contact. When my grandparents passed away, this aunt had sent letters to be read at their services. Both times, the officiant called us aside and warned us about how mean they were and asked if we wanted them read. We said no. The shit hit the fan. Over the last 20 years, my cousins, the aunt's children, have seen and or contacted my mom only a handful of times. When my mom was diagnosed with a terminal illness a few months ago, people reached out a little more, but my mom wasn't interested because she felt that it was only because she was dying and they were trying to avoid any guilty feelings, which I would do the same way. I'd be like, yeah, no, fuck off.
Yeah, it's like when someone dies and all of a sudden everyone's like,
oh my God, they lit up a room and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Please. It says, I put a lot of thought into my mom's obituary. It was about 350 words long, including a quote from her favorite book. Where I live, obituaries are ridiculously expensive.
I was just thinking expensive.
It was $600 for this with a photo, so I tried to shorten it. When I mentioned my family, I included myself, my husband, and our children, my aunt, and my other cousin. I didn't even think to include my aunt's children, as they don't really know anything about my mom as a person and had seen her once or twice in 20 years. She wasn't even invited to their weddings. I was really just trying to focus on the family members who were closest to her, and my other cousin from her deceased brother is like a sister to me and has always been close with my mom. I also mentioned her dog because she was my mom's true best friend. When I sent the write-up to my aunt, she immediately responded with how I'd left her children out and how they would be upset. And I explained that I didn't even think of them while writing it, as they haven't been part of our lives in so long. She kept responding with things like, you just do what you think is right, or you wrote it, so I guess it's up to you. And then she proceeded to tell me about how it is customary to add all immediate family members to an obituary. She is the only family we have left within 2,000 kilometers, so I decided to add her children in order to avoid a family fight and another awful funeral letter. I also included some of our extended family who has been close with my mom, as well as her chosen family, my in-laws, who were in contact with her despite speaking a different language, and friends. In total, I added about 15 additional people. I figured if I was including people who didn't deserve to be there, I should add the ones who did. I sent her the update the next day and she read it but didn't reply, and now she isn't speaking with me and has stopped answering my calls. I'm stressed out that she will cause a scene at the funeral, and I'm saddened that she's avoiding contact with me. Am I the asshole for including too many people or not enough initially? I don't want to reach out and apologize because I don't think I'm wrong here, but I worry I may have been the asshole.
You are not the asshole. That aunt is the asshole.
Oh, my, fuck her and her dumbass kids.
Fuck that. It's like a wedding. When you start inviting too many people, it gets out of hand and... Oh, God. I hate that. Why is this fucking aunt making it all about her?
No, it's like, it's nice enough that she was included and they didn't even talk for 20 years.
I know.
It's a weird thing. I mean, I've written several obituaries, and I remember in one of them for a family member, there was another family member who's kind of estranged, out of the picture, not great. And I was like, let's not put them in it. And everyone's like, no, we got to put them in it. And I was like, oh, okay. But it wasn't like they had a vendetta or weren't speaking or anything.
I would never read into an obituary either and be like, oh, well, so-and-so wasn't included. Like,
I mean, I'll say it. If I had someone I wasn't close to or they weren't part of my life, I wouldn't want them in my obituary. I'd be like,
yeah.
You know, but I also don't know if I would go the biographical route of like, he was born and raised in blah, 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 born to blah, 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 and blah, 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 raised with blah, blah. Like, I don't think I would do it like that. I think my obituary for sure is going to have a little more pizzazz to it. Something different. Give him the old razzle-dazzle. But definitely not the asshole.
You are not the asshole.
And honestly, I think it sounds kind of petty. Like, okay, well, she wants her children added. Well, now I'm going to add all these other people. And it might be a little bit of a petty move, but I love it. And I'm like, well, if you're going to do that, if you're going to open it up to her children who had no contact.
I don't think it's petty. I think it's like, okay, if I'm including these, now I'm going to have to include all these other people. Like, I don't think.
I think if you wanted to avoid drama, you would have just added the children or whatever and not added a bunch of other people. But I think it's saying something, and I think whoever that is, their mom would probably be like, good, add in the real people.
Yeah.
Love it. And then I have one more that says, am I the asshole for refusing to go with my 16-year-old daughter to her father's funeral? Listen to this. My ex-husband, my daughter's father, passed away 2 days ago at the age of 36. My 16-year-old daughter begged that I go with her to the funeral because she said she doesn't know anyone there and needs my support and guidance. I refused because I did not feel comfortable, and then seeing my former in-laws, it's just not worth the pain. Plus that, her grandparents and her younger uncle that she adores so much will be there, so that's good enough. I also offered to have my brother drive her there and return her home later, but she refused and kept begging me to go with her. I told her no and that I have my reasons, and that's it. She unloaded on me yesterday, calling me bitter and selfish, and said that my hatred for her dad is still there and it's disgusting. I was really hurt and I had an argument with her, but didn't punish her for what she called me because she's grieving and processing her father's passing. I just cut the argument and told her to go upstairs. She went inside her room and refused to come out for lunch and dinner. My boyfriend tried to stay with her and get her to eat, but she refused. He told me later that day this is obviously something that my daughter is not dealing with properly, and suggested I just go to the funeral because if I don't, then there will be a lasting resentment from my daughter. I went to bed but couldn't sleep over this. I feel like just because she wants this doesn't mean I just go with it. I never push her to do anything she doesn't want to do.
Go to the fucking funeral.
Are you kidding me?
She's the asshole. Go
Definitely
to the funeral.
The asshole. Are you like... It doesn't matter who this person is.
I know.
He's not going to be there. You don't got to worry about running into him. It's for your daughter.
Your daughter is asking you to go to her father's funeral. Now, we don't know all the ins and outs, all the details, the trauma, whatever.
Sometimes you just got to fucking balls to the wall. Like, I'm fucking going for my daughter. What better reason?
It almost seems a little narcissistic. Like, oh, I'm going to see the in-laws. I'm going to see, like, they're not thinking about you.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what it is. It's thinking, oh, this is suddenly about me. I could listen. There's obviously we don't know the full scope, but I feel like if there was something like horrible that she would have included it in this, like
just to further her side, her case,
Because looking at it blank, I'm like, this looks like you're not going because your own personal bullshit with the family.
Yeah,
and you're putting that over your daughter who's grieving. And the fact that the boyfriend's like, oh, she's not handling this properly.
Okay, boyfriend.
Oh, what the fuck do you know? You better fucking put on your headphones and listen to some obituary, you bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Asshole.
The more we do these, the more I'm like, is this going to get back to
wow. They put it out there to be judged.
Truly. And we're judging and we're letting you know you are an asshole.
Exactly. Oh, God. Well,
I need a break.
Me too.
Yeah, we're going to go find that guy and break his knees.
Oh, my God. Goodbye.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Now, I am up first this week, so do you have a side bitch for me, Spencer?
I do, and mine actually passed away 2 days ago.
Ooh, okay.
So I am going to leave last names out, but I got this obituary sent by a Geoff, and I love it.
Okay.
They actually got this at work. Their boss walked out and was like, look at this.
Oh, do they know the person?
I'm not sure. So I'm going to keep all anonymous.
Got it.
Here.
Good.
It says Linda passed away peacefully at her home in bed on March 8th, 2022 at the age of 72 years old. It is believed it was caused from drinking too much rum chata to help her cure her illness. She left behind a hell of a lot of stuff to her son and daughter, who have no idea what to do with all of it. So if you're looking for a lot of antique furniture, a 2021 Buick Enclave with 5,000 miles and a ton of shoes and purses, you should wait the appropriate amount of time to get in touch. Tomorrow should be fine. This is not an ad for QVC, HSN, or Amazon Prime, whose profits will dip after the loss of a VIP customer, but an obituary for a great woman, mother, aunt, sister, grandmother, great-grandmother, and friend. She was preceded in death by her beloved mother and father and is survived by her husband of 54 years, a daughter, son, her grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
Oh my gosh. You guys need any of that.
Hey.
What is is the appropriate time to wait?
Who knows? Loved it. So what got you spinning in your coffin this week?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know how I stumbled upon this. I was just doing my normal research for something else, and then I feel like that's always how it goes. Like, it's so funny, Spencer. I don't know if this happens to you too, but like, I will have a topic in my head that I start researching. I will go through 25 other topics in the process.
Oh, yeah.
And then
all the time, pretty much every week, I would say I have my topic, and then I'm like, "What the hell is this? What's this?" And then completely different,
completely fucking different, completely different. So today we're gonna talk about burials.
Okay.
But for witches.
For witches?
For witches.
Oh my God.
The history of witch hunting is absolutely fucking horrific. And I know a lot of us probably learned about the Salem witch trials, and it's just terrible. I'm not going to go into detail about that. We're just going to talk specifically about burying. But witch hunting dates back to ancient Greece, and honestly probably even before that. And it's super heartbreaking. And also, if any of you G-offs are witches, let us know. We love a witch.
We love a witch. And put good spells on us only.
Yes. I'm also going to sprinkle in a little vampire burial factoids in here too, because many of the methods that were used on witches were also used on vampires. But before I do that, historycollection.com listed 18 reasons why someone would have been executed for being a witch.
Anything. It's like if a woman knew math or knew how to read, they were like...
It's fucked up. So I'm just going to quote. They went into detail about every single one, but I'm just going to list the 18 things quickly. So number 1, you had made enemies. In many cases, people were accused of being witches by neighbors, bearing grudges, and seeking revenge.
That would be me.
She's a witch. Number 2, you had a reputation for being argumentative. Nobody liked or trusted an assertive woman back in the 16th and 17th centuries. Of course not. Number 3, you forgot to throw out old dairy products. Believe it or not, curdled milk was offered up as evidence that women were witches. It's just everything we researched, it never ceases to amaze me how fucking dumb we are.
Oh, fully.
Number 4, you were illiterate. Even if you were dyslexic or just hated speaking in public, failure to quote fluently from the Bible might be seen as a sign of being possessed by evil.
She can't do it.
Oh my gosh, I would have been called a witch. Number 5, you had a third nipple. Prosecutors were always on the lookout for the telltale signs of a witch, especially on female bodies. Number 6, you were a midwife. Wise women used their knowledge of herbal medicine to help others give birth safely, but it left them open to accusations of witchcraft. Number 7, you had a cat. For centuries, people really did believe that women who lived alone with cats for company were probably in league with the devil. And then it says, number 8, you were left-handed. According to many traditions, there was something sinister about being left-handed, and it was seen as one obvious sign that someone was a witch.
Anyone who went to Catholic school will know that one.
Why?
Because a lot of people when they were younger, if they showed that they were left-handed in school, the nuns who worked at the school would slap them on the wrist or make them change their hand because they thought left-handed was of the devil.
Really?
You never heard that before?
No.
I bet your mom probably, if you talked to her about it, she would know.
God, I showed you that. My mom went to Catholic school her whole life.
Uh-huh.
And I was going through old pictures with her, and there's a scary ass picture of a nun.
You should post it.
I know, it's cool. I'll post it. Number 9, you were financially independent. Sexist beliefs in the subservience of women meant that those who didn't need a man's support were often suspected as witches. Number 10, you were guilty by association. If you knew or were related to a known witch, you might have found yourself hauled before a grand jury. Number 11, you had a criminal record. Number 12, you didn't dress smartly enough. In some witch trials, an individual's refusal to dress like everyone else was seen as something distinctly sinister. Number 13, you talked to yourself. As the Salem witch trial showed, simply muttering under your breath could be seen as a sign of black magic. Number 14, if you are sexually progressive. Sex outside of marriage has long been frowned upon, but in the 17th century, it could get you hanged for being a witch. Number 15, you were childless. When children fell ill for no apparent reason, it was often believed that the local childless woman had cursed them out of jealousy or spite.
She's like, no, they've got fucking diphtheria.
I know. Number 16, you were aged 40 or over. Older women were treated with suspicion, especially if they lived alone. Number 17, you looked the part. As witch hunts became increasingly commonplace, so-called experts believed they knew what a witch looked like. And number 18, which just encompasses the whole fuckery of witch hunting, is that just simply if you were a woman.
That's why I'm gay. I had to stray away from the witches.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because it's all literally just sexist things.
It's all sexist.
That's history. I mean,
know.
we talk about it all the time. People who were like given lobotomies and stuff. It's like, why? Oh, she was hysterical.
Uh-huh.
Why was she hysterical? Oh, her husband stabbed her in the neck.
Yeah.
And she just couldn't control it.
I know. It's so true.
Oh, it's so fucked.
After you were executed for basically just existing as a woman, you were typically buried in one of these ways. And on a quick note, many victims' graves have been obviously lost and or unnamed throughout history. So I'm going to give some examples of like real actual cases.
Okay.
So the first way you could be buried if you were accused of being a witch was face down. Witches were often buried literally face down. A face down burial was not only designated for witches, however. Digventures.com has an article about a 13-year-old girl who was found buried face down in Italy, and she was nicknamed Witch Girl. But that article also says, quote, face down burials could be a treatment used for murderers and thieves.
Back in those days, they were burying people alive all the time. She might have been alive when she got buried, flipped herself over.
I know. It goes on to say, quote, these rare burials are explained as an act of punishment. What the dead had done was not accepted by the community. Another possibility is that the girl was buried that way out of a superstitious belief that it would prevent her from being resurrected or coming back to haunt the living as a spirit. Archaeologists suggest that positioning a person's skull face down in their grave signifies that the community not only wanted to humiliate the person, it says, but also make it more difficult for them to rise from the dead. And then it goes on to say, in particular, the prone burial was linked to the belief that the soul left the body through the mouth. Burying the dead face down was a way to prevent the impure soul threatening the living, which is fucking crazy. And there are a lot of cases of vampires that were buried the same way. And I'll post a picture. It's pretty crazy to see. Like, it's just, they've found these grave sites and it's just bones, but the skull's facing down, everything's facing down. It just looks kind of crazy.
Now, I want to picture it. They're in a coffin.
Or just buried in the ground, yeah.
I'm like picturing, or like in a casket or whatever, I'm like trying to picture shape-wise. Like, is their head at the littler part at the bottom or whatever? Like, are they upside down that way as well as face down?
No, just face down, just on their stomach.
Okay.
Just buried on their stomach.
Okay. I need to know. That's one of those things when if I was listening to this, I would be wondering that.
Hey, I love it. Another way of burying a witch was to bury them with a brick in their mouth.
Ow! My God, in their mouth?
In their mouth.
A whole ass brick?
Yeah, a whole fucking brick. We'll post it again. There are pictures of skulls that were excavated with just like big stones in their mouth. Now, witches and vampires were both buried this way a lot. An article I read from Newsweek talked about a vampire witch's grave. So a vampire witch.
Like a hybrid?
A hybrid.
Oh my God.
From the 1700s that was discovered in 2014. She was buried with a brick in her mouth. The article goes on to say, quote, they believed she was accused of being a witch, then tortured. With the leg piercing being part of this, there were like spikes through her legs. Her accusers are believed to have placed a brick in her mouth to ensure protection from her black magic, even after her death. Now, with people being accused of being vampires, they too were sometimes buried, like I said, with bricks in their mouth. And I wanted to read this is probably all I'm going to get into about vampires, but this is like blew my mind. Archaeology.org did this whole article on vampire exorcisms and even refers to this brick practice as exorcism by brick. The article says, quote, "Why would they have done that to this corpse? This was an ancient folkloric tradition. We have determined that this superstition resulted from a misinterpretation of thanatological, which means death-related, data. In the 16th and 17th centuries, little was known about what happens to the body after death. They knew about immediate post-mortem changes, such as cooling of the body and temporary stiffening of the muscles, but these changes don't really alter the appearance of the deceased. The ensuing decay and putrefaction, which reduce a corpse to a skeleton, were poorly understood because they happen in the grave. When graves were reopened, it was usually after years, when the body had completely turned into a skeleton. So they associated death with a cold and stiff corpse or blanched skeleton, and allegorical paintings from the time to confirm this. But reports of vampires in graves actually describe a corpse during decomposition. I'll get back into this article, but they believed that vampires would turn, like you could turn into a vampire by being bitten.
Right.
So I think they would open up these corpses and be like, that's a vampire. It goes on to say the rigor mortis would have disappeared. A phenomenon called epidermolysis, which I think you talked about, would be visible, in which the epidermis loosens from the underlying dermis and the nails fall off, exposing the nail beds and giving the impression of new growth.
Yeah.
At the same time, the corpse would be going through the putrefaction stage, in which the abdomen gets bloated from the buildup of gases. The decay of the gastrointestinal tract contents and lining create a dark fluid called purge fluid. That might flow freely from the nose and mouth and could easily be confused with the blood sucked by the vampire. And if a corpse was wrapped in a shroud, putrid gases and purge fluid flowing from the mouth would moisten the cloth so it would sink into the mouth. And we talked about this with Karen Greenlee or whatever, when she said like sometimes a corpse will have blood coming out of their mouth, like if you get on top of them or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so they would open up these coffins and see this person that they buried now had blood coming out of their mouth, and it looked like they were a vampire who just sucked a bunch of blood.
Dumb. I mean, what do they think? He's just crawling out of there, and they like to, well, maybe that's where the whole concept of vampires sleeping in coffins comes from.
Well, they thought that they could eat their way through. That's why they would put a brick in their mouth. With witches, it was, we're putting a brick in your mouth because you are not going to be casting any spells or anything like that. Like, you will not be able to move your mouth. With a vampire, it's like you will not be able to eat your way out of this coffin.
The thing I never understood, I'm like, okay, if they were witches and they had all these powers that you thought they had, like, do you not think that they would be able to disguise it or not get executed?
I know.
It's honestly, I feel like back in the day, everyone was just a serial killer. Everyone was a murderer. Like, people were always killing each other for the craziest things.
I know. God. Okay. The next way that a witch could be buried, and I don't think that it's exclusive to just these things. I'm sure they were buried with all of these things. Like, who knows what the fuck people did. But another way would be to be nailed down. Witches were nailed down because it was, again, a way of keeping them from rising out of their graves.
I feel like we shouldn't even call them witches.
Like, I know, victims
were nailed down.
I know. One instance of this was documented when an 800-year-old skeleton was found in Italy a few years ago. Archaeologists believe that this skeleton was a woman who was presumed to be a witch. She had 7 nails nailed into her jaw and another 13 nails throughout her skeleton. Some even nailed down the clothes that she would have been buried in.
See? Serial killer.
You
want to know why Sabrina the Teenage Witch had to keep it a fucking secret all that time?
It's for real.
Yeah, no wonder.
Now, the last way that I'm going to talk about, there's a crazy story that goes along with this. So, buried under stone. Many witches had huge boulders dropped on top of their corpses to ensure that they would never be able to rise again. All these people are fucking pussies, okay, to do this. You think this witch is going to do all this?
It's crazy. Why not just delimb them or something? Like, why not just cut their head off or something?
Nothing makes sense.
I'm going to put this ye old boulder and drop it on her, and she'll never cast a spell again.
I know.
I heard her read one time. Like, what the fuck?
Seriously, it's fucked.
It's horrible. Sorry for even laughing.
No, it's
no
not
disrespect.
even a laughing
And
matter.
if they were witches, you know what? Love them. Good for them.
Yes.
We love a witch.
Yes. Many witch burials also had big stone slabs covering their tomb to ensure the same thing. When researching this particular way of burial, the same name kept coming up. Like every article, the same name. And that name was Meg Shelton. This story is wild, Spencer. So she was an English woman. She died in 1705. Before she died, however, she was accused of witchcraft. There are tons of articles on her, like I said, and I keep seeing pictures of her grave, which is still standing. It's at, I think, St. Anne's Church in England.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't have a tombstone. It's just a huge rock. So the story goes that she was an extremely powerful witch. She could shapeshift into different animals.
Cool.
There were so many articles about her, like I said, again, written online, but donkeyjunk.com.
What? No, bitch, you said there are so many articles about this online and you chose Donkey Junk?
Because I thought it was written really like the best, like concise, everything.
Oh my God.
So they wrote a lengthy post about her saying, quote, "One of the many stories of Meg speaks of how she was stealing milk from cows in a field, all whilst disguising her jug as a goose. It is said that the farmer saw milk drinking from the beak of the animal, so he approached and kicked it. This caused the jug to transform back into its original form and shatter, spilling all the milk that Meg Shelton had stolen. The furious witch was said to fly away." It goes on to say the legend tells of how Meg Shelton would walk with a pronounced limp, which she apparently obtained while she was taking the form of a rabbit. It is said that Meg made a bet with her landlord that she could turn into a rabbit and race his dogs from Wesham to the cottage that she rented in Catforth. Meg said her only rule was that the landlord was not allowed to release a large black dog that he owned, as she believed it was too dangerous. The prize for her winning the race would be the cottage that she was renting. The landlord, who had no intention of losing the bet and his property, let his black dog chase after Meg, and it bit into her hind leg just as she got through the door of the cottage. Another famous story about Meg Shelton was that one day she had transformed herself to appear as a sack of corn in a farmer's barn while she was stealing food from him.
As if she could transform into anything. She's like, I'm going to be a sack of corn.
Not like a beautiful stallion or
like a fucking rose.
The farmer, who noticed he had one sack more than he was supposed to, decided to stab each bag with his pitchfork. Meg let out a scream when he stabbed her with the fork, transformed back to her normal self, and fled the scene.
I'm picturing just a bag of corn screaming. Oh my God! What the fuck?
Meg Shelton died in 1705. She was discovered in her home after being crushed between a heavy oak barrel and a stone wall.
Oh, that's what did it?
Yeah, like she could have just turned into an oak barrel.
Yeah.
Or a little mouse and ran away. Locals were convinced that the devil had returned to claim her soul after gifting her with the dark powers he instilled in her. At the time, it was believed that witches had the ability to return from the dead. The locals decided that they would bury Meg Shelton in the graveyard at Wood Plumpton under the cover of darkness in the hope she would not return. Okay, now listen to this. It says, the next morning, her grave had been disturbed and the corpse of Meg was seen laying on the grass close to where she had been buried the night before.
Ooh.
This continued to happen for several nights as the locals attempted to rebury her.
I just got full body chills. That's terrifying.
The villagers of Wood Plumpton called on the assistance of a priest from nearby Cottam Hall to consecrate the grave to prevent this from happening again. However, the locals weren't satisfied that this was enough. They placed a large boulder over her grave to try and ensure that she couldn't dig her way out. They also buried her head first in a thin shaft in a bid to try and trick her to digging further into the ground if she was to awake again.
What the fuck?
That is
absolutely insane.
So this just gossip, oh, she flew away on a broom. She turned into a rabbit. Oh, yeah, I had an extra bag of corn. That was her. Can you even?
That is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
Insane. So
sounds like she led quite a life.
Poor girl.
Or, I mean,
maybe she was. I mean, who knows?
Listen, that's a little more than she sounds like a witch. Sounds like a witch to me.
God.
Shape-shifting and everything.
Yep. So she's buried under that rock.
Huge rock.
Head first.
You know what's so crazy is that people were always, I feel like, having fits of just mania back then because of all the chemicals and everything. So it's maybe that guy just painted his barn green and then all of a sudden he's like, I've seen it, the cornmeal, it's moving.
Totally. He's just got back from his Wobbles marathon or whatever and he's on strychnine.
He's like, she's a witch.
That bag of corn wasn't there.
God,
I'm going to stab it.
Fucking crazy.
Insane. That's all I got for you.
Oh, thank God people can just openly be witches now.
I know.
Here, at least. I don't know about every country.
I know. But, hey, I respect it.
Hey, we stand with the witches.
We totally do. Spencer, we got to take a break after that one.
Hey, what do you mean? What are you, some kind of witch or something?
Alakazam.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what's got you spinning in your coffin?
Girly, I fell down the craziest rabbit hole.
Of course.
I feel like I always just find the weirdest. I don't know.
Were you shape-shifting as a rabbit?
Oh my God, I think so. I don't know. I came back disturbed. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
And you will be too.
All right.
Naturally, I've decided I need to tell everyone about it. It is called Karoo. Have you heard of this?
No.
No. Karoo.
No.
I know we've never talked about it because you would definitely remember. It's fucked. Information was taken from the Karoo Wikipedia page, healthline.com, and an article on All That's Interesting. Nothing from Donkey Junk.
Hey, it's a good website.
By definition, Karoo is a rare and fatal disease of the brain occurring in some peoples in New Guinea and is thought to be caused by a virus-like agent such as prion. We'll explain.
What does that all that mean?
And that's it. That's my coffin spinner. Listen. Okay, so basically this disease, Karoo, was really prominent amongst a certain group of people in New Guinea. And New Guinea, you've probably come across it in research at some point because there are so many different tribes of people that live there that all have really different spiritual ideas and rituals and stuff. A lot of New Guinea for a long time was undiscovered. The group that we're talking about today were known as the Four People, or are known as the Four People, Fore. E, and they were discovered living in Papua New Guinea. The four had been living independently for years, and they were just on their own agenda. They didn't really have tie-ins to the local community. They'd been living independently just for quite some time. They had their own customs, own language, and most importantly, their own rituals, including cannibalism, which led to the spread of this awful disease that came to be known as Karoo. And it peaked really during the 1950s and 1960s, but they had the last victim of Karoo actually died pretty recently in 2009.
Oh, wow. Wait, okay.
What?
So they were getting this from eating?
Yeah, so, well, I mean, we'll save the topic of cannibalism as a whole for another day, but back in the day, the four people would partake in a phenomenon known as funerary cannibalism, which is essentially when a loved one would pass away, they would be traditionally cooked and eaten. And the idea was that doing this would free the soul from the body.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my God, you haven't heard of sin eaters?
Sin eaters?
Yeah, you don't need to eat the body. Obviously, we want to always respect other cultures, but it just feels really extreme and hard to picture.
Right.
For us. One medical researcher explained that the four philosophy as such was if the body was buried, it was eaten by worms. If it was placed on a platform, it was eaten by maggots. So the four believed that it was much better that the body was eaten by people who loved the deceased than by worms and insects.
I mean, when you explain it like that, I get it.
Now it makes sense. Madison just took a bite out of my arm. So as I mentioned, during this ritual, the body of the deceased would be cooked and eaten by the family. They would eat everything but the gallbladder. The brain was usually always left for the women to consume. A lot of people thought it was a delicacy. And the women would sometimes feed the brain as snacks to their children.
I want to know how long it took to consume. Was it over months?
I think it was kind of like a thing where it went fast. Like they would just eat them, I believe.
Okay.
Like I feel like it was kind of like they would have like a feast almost.
Oh my God.
Well, okay, so they would feed, a lot of times it was the women and the children that were eating the brain. But the issue is the brain is how the disease was transmitted. That's like how these infections were starting. It was from eating the brain of the deceased. And we're going to get into the symptoms and everything, but I was fascinated to learn that Karoo has an incubation period. This is fucking wild. Anywhere from 10 to 50 years.
What?
So if you consumed a piece of infected brain, let's say when you were like a child, when you're like 10 years old, there's a possibility that you wouldn't know you had Karoo or were infected by Karoo until you were in your 60s.
What?
And then, I mean, think of anything. Like if you were 30 and did it, you wouldn't know until you were like 90. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild. How?
Because you think of like relating it to something like today, like COVID or something where, you know, you're infected, you have to stay home for 5 days or whatever, but crazy. 50 years, 60 years, wild. This wasn't always the case. The average incubation period was between 10 and 13 years, which is still very long. But it could be as short as 5. Still.
Crazy.
A long time to just go about your life and then be like, what's going on?
Mind blowing. And then like not knowing, like, was it that hot dog I ate? Like, you know?
Well, I mean, it all sounds kind of confusing, but essentially just to break it down and recap it for everyone, someone dies, you know, grandma dies, we're going to cook her and then we're all going to eat her body. But people that were eating the brains might have some crazy disease called Karoo happen later on.
And it was inadvertently sexist because the women had to do it.
Yeah. Once the infection begins in the body after its incubation period, it breaks down into 3 different stages. I mean, first of all, it greatly affects the nervous system. The first symptom, also called the ambulant stage, is decreased muscle control, tremors, and difficulty pronouncing words. And so that was a little more mild, but that was usually like the first inclination that something was wrong. In the second stage, referred to as the sedentary stage, the infected individual could no longer walk without support. The tremors would worsen, and they would experience a lot of emotional turmoil during this phase, suffering bouts of extreme depression and uncontrollable fits of laughter. Listen. Karoo is also referred to as laughing death. It's not funny.
It's not funny.
But I know, it reminds me of like the dancing plague or something.
Laughing death.
The laughing death. People would lose control of their bodies and just be laughing.
Stop it.
Can you imagine?
But dying?
Yes. This would start in the second stage as uncontrollable laughter, and then the third and final stage was known as the terminal stage, and that's when the infected individual could no longer even sit up. They started developing, breathing complications, becoming unresponsive, and towards the end of the terminal stage, patients would often develop ulcerated wounds that commonly became infected. The final stage is usually about 3 months to 2 years after the symptoms arise, and oftentimes the death is associated with some type of pneumonia or infections from the ulcerated wounds. Quote, at its peak in the 1950s, Karoo was wiping out 2% of the tribe per year. While both the fore and outside researchers realized that there was a major problem, they had no idea what was causing the laughing death epidemic at first. But before long, everyone learned the terrible truth. The practice stopped in the 1960s, the practice of eating the loved ones, after researchers were able to discover that the laughing epidemic, it had direct ties to the cannibalism. Initially, the four people thought that it was some kind of sorcery versus contamination. So they thought the laughing fits were coming from probably witches or something versus your brain freaking out because you ate another human brain.
Wow. I wonder if serial killers who have eaten human brain.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Huh.
We won't know.
Was he executed?
No, he was murdered in prison.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. But it is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't because of where they lived. It wasn't because of the environment they were in or anything. It was literally because they were eating brains. So yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's prevalent in animals. So speaking of, when they were trying to figure out what was causing this, researchers that came in started to suspect it was because of the human brain they were eating. They began injecting human brain matter into chimpanzees. Mm-hmm. The chimps started developing Karoo symptoms, and that's when they figured out what was actually going on.
Wow, wow, wow.
According to Michael Alpers, a medical researcher at Curtin University in Australia who studied the disease, the last Karoo victim died in 2009, and the epidemic was officially declared over among the four people in 2012. Today, the four number about 20,000 people, which is nearly double the number of people who were around during the height of the Karoo epidemic. The four are thrilled with their population growth, especially since a number of women and children is in a steady place once again.
Wow.
But yeah, so it was kind of like this insane virus. I mean, it's easy to relate a lot of things now because we've gone through a pandemic, like we've gone through the whole COVID situation, that it's just, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if COVID started making people laugh uncontrollably.
No.
I would lose my mind. It's the scariest thing to me, Madison. I don't know why. The dancing plague, the laughing plague, all of it scares the shit out of me because picture like days before television and other noises and even music, like before all of that, like if we were just sitting here right now and I was like, God, I think my neighbor has Karoo, and like we just heard them like like it would be the scariest
People
thing.
probably think we have it because we're always
oh my God, because we're always
laughing.
laughing. It must be that brain we ate.
Oh God, I don't even know what to say. Literally, when you were explaining it to me, I was thinking about when I got my wisdom teeth taken out and I woke myself up laughing uncontrollably. Like I literally could not control my laughter.
It's probably what it was like.
I know.
How can I make this New Guinea plague about me?
Me?
Crazy. I mean, it's truly insane.
Insane. I can't even. Literally, my mind is blown. Mind is blown.
So don't eat brains.
Yeah. We'll get into cannibalism in another episode.
You'll probably see New Guinea come up a lot during cannibalism because that's not just strictly with the four people. That's something that's been found in a lot of areas of New Guinea.
I have a question. So it's not something viral, though, that could be spread if you had it?
They still don't really know.
Okay.
Because there is writings that say it was transmissible, like, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's been studied to the point where they could tell certain things, like questions that I have, like, okay, if a woman was pregnant and she had it, would it also affect the baby or anything like that? It would probably be very hard to study because of the incubation period.
The incubation period, and it's not something that every culture does.
No.
You know, the population of the world, it's a small population that does funerary cannibalism and... Wow.
Crazy.
Cannibalism
to me, it sounds like something so much less... The way they described it in this, I was like, okay, I get it.
Well, it's not a Jeffrey Dahmer, like...
You're not killing someone to eat them. You're not... Which is typically when I think of cannibalism, I think of...
Yeah.
Like Donner Party or serial killers, where it's like, we're gonna kill whoever and eat them. Like, they're not killing to eat. They're eating the deceased.
When it's explained like that, it's like, well, yeah, insects are gonna eat them. Why not us?
Yeah.
We love them. Yeah. Interesting. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, especially if it's an audio bibliopegy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. Well, I need a break after that for sure.
Break me off a piece. We'll be right back. And we're back. Let's hear your obituary for the week.
All right. I have a kind of funny one. It is Pat Simon. Pat Simon passed away peacefully January 30th, 2022. This was the only thing she did peacefully. She Tokyo drifted through life, seizing every opportunity available. If you knew her, you know she would have wanted everyone to remember her with a good belly laugh over a very hot cup of coffee. She loved the casino, the Chicago Bears, her grandchildren, and custard pie. We aren't sure what order these should be, and she probably didn't know either. But she loved all of these things fiercely with unabashed joy. She has left behind a trail of cigarette butts, candy wrappers, and good vibes. She is survived by her numerous children and grandchildren who wish to remain anonymous in case she owed anyone money. I love her.
Love it. I swear we've heard this one before.
I was thinking the same thing, but I think we may have read it on Patreon, but I don't think we have read it on this show.
Geoffs, you tell us.
You tell us, Geoffs.
I think it would be our first read.
I know, and we have a document with everything we've read, so.
Yeah, but Madison put it together, so
who knows?
Oh my God. Either way, I love it. It's such a classic, such a good one.
Such a good one.
We are going to take a quick break, and then I'll be back with my obituary and some dumb criminals. Be right back.
Hello, can you hear us? What if I told you you could hear us even better? Let us bring you in on one of our must-haves, Raycon wireless earbuds.
Oh yeah, Raycon wireless earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. It's the best way to bring audio with you because no matter how much you shake things up, literally no matter how much you shake, you know they won't fall out of your ears.
Yes, and there's even an awareness mode. So if you're taking the dog for a walk or just walking through a sketchy situation, you can still be aware of what's going on around you. Safety is key, babes.
They're so comfortable too. They have all the different gel inserts so you can change out the sizing and everything so that they're just right for you. I recently started running again, which is a nightmare in and of itself, but Raycon makes it easier. I don't know how they did it, but they truly stay in place the entire time. There's nothing more embarrassing, and this has happened to me a lot in the past with other brands, where it falls out while you're like mid-run, especially in front of cars or people, and you have to like lean down to pick it up. I don't know. Something about it just makes you feel like a nerd.
Oh, yes, I know. Can we talk about the longevity? Raycons offer 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life, and they're priced just right, Geoffs. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands.
Right now, Obituary listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/obit. That's BUYRAYCON.com/OBIT to save 15% on Raycons today.
buyraycon.com/obit.
And we're back. This will go down as probably my favorite obituary I've ever read. It's a long one, and I'm warning you now, but you'll see by the end why I chose it.
Okay.
This was published, I believe, in the New York Times. It says, model, countess, author, spy, Aileen Griffith is dead. Aileen Griffith, a former model from New York City who transformed herself into a dressed-to-kill, self-proclaimed spy and Spanish countess, died on Monday in Madrid. She was in her mid-90s. Her death was confirmed by her family. She had been treated for emphysema for years. Aileen, Countess of Romanones, as she was known, was also the author of several books, most of them brimming with tales of her escapades as an American espionage agent, which began in Spain during World War II, were billed as memoirs, though they were believed to be heavily embroidered. I always knew I had a good story, she told the Los Angeles Times in 1991. Time magazine exclaimed that she lived a life of glamour and danger that Ingrid Bergman only played at in Notorious, Alfred Hitchcock's 1946 spy melodrama. I've been jailed in Malaga, kidnapped in Madrid, and attacked in Switzerland, the Countess was quoted as saying to the Boston Globe in 1987. She wrote that after being abducted as she was leaving a dinner at a Madrid country club dinner with high-ranking Nazis in 1944, she shot one of the kidnappers who turned out to be a double agent. She was uncertain, though, whether she had actually killed him. Naturally, I didn't wait to take his pulse, she recalled. She said that before her marriage in 1947, she promised her fiancé, a Spanish nobleman, that she would retire as a spy, but the job was irresistible. By her account, she later traced stolen Nazi art, enlisted Wallis Simpson, the Duchess of Windsor, in 1966 to help ferret out a Soviet male who had infiltrated NATO, was assigned to prevent the assassination of King Hassan II of Morocco in 1971, and was dispatched to war-torn El Salvador in the early 1980s. Espionage becomes like a drug, she told People magazine in 1990. Mary Aileen Griffith was born in the Rockland County hamlet of Pearl River, New York, on May 22nd of 1923, she said, although some records list her birth year as 1920. Her father, William, manufactured printing presses at a plant owned by her grandfather and sold real estate and insurance. Her mother, the former Marie Dexter, was said to have been descended from the Pilgrims. Mary Griffith attended the College of Mount St. Vincent, a Roman Catholic school in the Bronx founded by the Sisters of Charity. She graduated with a degree in literature, history, and journalism. Afterwards, she was hired as a model in Manhattan by Hattie Carnegie, the Vienna-born fashion entrepreneur. When the United States entered World War II, she sought a role overseas. She was told she was too young. Her fortunes changed, however, after she went on a blind date with an agent for the government's Office of Strategic Services, the forerunner of the Central Intelligence Agency. Through him, she got herself hired as a code clerk deciphering messages in the United States Embassy in Madrid, where she posed as a socialite employed by American oil companies. OSS files list her as a former employee under the name Marie Aileen Griffith. Her code name, she said, was Tiger. It was in Madrid that she met Luis de Figueroa y Perez de Guzman el Bueno, the Count of Quintanilla, and later of the Romanones. He was heir to one of Spain's largest fortunes and the grandson of a former foreign minister. Her husband died in 1987. They had 3 sons, Alvaro, Luis, and Miguel, who survive her along with 13 grandchildren. Charles Pink, president of the OSS Society and Alumni Association, wrote of the Countess in an email. She epitomized why it was said that OSS stood for Oh So Social, as many of its members were drawn from the social register. Posing as a socialite even before she became one was a good cover, the Countess told the Los Angeles Times. With that, nobody's going to think you're doing anything worthwhile except putting on your makeup or something, she said. She revealed her secret wartime role in 1987 when she published her first memoir, The Spy Wore Red, My Adventures as an Undercover Agent in World War II. Writing in the New York Times Book Review, Michael Gross described the book as delightful as it dances before the eye, detailing dirty tricks. Her narrative, he wrote, introduced a new genre, café espionage. In 1990, she published a sequel, The Spy Went Dancing. This book falls under the heading, if the author didn't have a noble title, would we care about the stories she has to tell? The answer is, we would, but not nearly as much, said Joanne Kaufman for the New York Times Book Review. The Countess also wrote The Spy Wore Silk in 1991, The Well-Mannered Assassin in 1994, a novel based on the terrorist known as Carlos the Jackal, and another memoir, The End of Epic. My stories, she insisted, are all based in truth. As a woman in a mostly male world of espionage, she saw her femininity as a strength, she said. She found, for example, that women were better than men in extracting classified information from other men. She also acknowledged that she had managed to live free of the typical restraints placed on women of the mid-20th century. I'm a feminist and I'm not a feminist, she told the Boston Globe. I love it when men kiss my hand. I love good clothes. I would not like to be a West Point cadet. On the other hand, I think women should be able to do whatever they want to do. In The Spy Wore Red, she recalled her initial encounter with a recruiter from the OSS. I wanted to tell him that I had 3 great-grandmothers who braved crossing the country to lay down roots in the Midwest, despite attacks, birth without doctors, sickness without medicine, helping to build homes with their own hands, but I was afraid he would laugh, she wrote. Instead, I said, I love adventure.
What a life.
What a life, right? That's like... Okay, that's why I love it. It's not like obviously it's not the craziest obituary, but she literally like fought her way to become a spy.
Yeah.
She's super fucking glam. Look at her. Here she is with her little dachshund.
Oh, she's so cute.
And then, wait. I think that's her in her spy days. And then this was her posing with her first book. We'll post these pictures.
Gorgeous.
She's like, just like this elegant lady who, her cover as a spy was pretending to be a socialite, like an oil heiress. And then she literally became a socialite because she became a countess. It's crazy.
Wow.
I like hearing stories about people like that because it's always very fascinating to me. Hearing about those type of people versus like celebrities. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Who are the people around the celebrities? Because those are always the people with the real fucking interesting stories.
Totally.
So that's her. May she rest in peace.
I love it.
She completed her mission. And now
it's time
for some dumb
ass
criminals. Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. Alrighty. I have to just read the article because it's fucking funny. We were sent this on the obituary Instagram, and it's about a man who fooled a church into believing that he was Ed Sheeran.
Oh my God, your favorite singer.
The Portsmouth, Ohio official Facebook account posted it, and it said, the Fugitive Task Force is looking for Ronnie Williams Jr. of Sciotville for fraud. He has convinced 3 local churches that he is Ed Sheeran and even went as far as performing The Shape of You in front of Christ Community Church last Sunday. When the pastor was asked why he believed the real Ed Sheeran would perform for $35 in a sandwich, he said he just assumed he had fell on tough times.
What the fuck?
Look at him. Sheeran. And then the Facebook post also says, if you have any information as to Ronnie's whereabouts, message us immediately.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Now the real Ed Sheeran needs to pay him a visit. Make
I
up
know.
for it.
Exactly. $35 in a sandwich. I'll do it.
Oh my God, I love it. My dumb criminal comes from Louisiana this week. And Madison, this is one of the fucking weirdest things. No, like for real. It's so gross. So the Louisiana State Police arrested this guy named Dees. He was 29 years old, lived in New Orleans. Dees in November of 2019 after they learned that he was using the internet to engage in fraud.
Okay.
The fraud, okay. So basically what this guy would do, Dees, he would go online and he would hire healthcare workers online. He would like post like advertisements basically looking to hire healthcare workers to come and look after his disabled brother.
Okay.
He had a brother who was 18 named Corey who was disabled. Basically, they would come and just take care of Corey, help him out with any and everything you can imagine. Okay, well, it turns out Corey never existed. Dees pretended to be disabled.
No.
And would have women come over and change diapers for him.
Oh! Oh my God.
And he would be sexually aroused every time. It was just like, it's what got him off.
Stop.
And so there was one woman who, it says, went and changed his diapers and stuff on at least 10 separate occasions before she realized what was happening. Which, like, think about it. Like, they're probably used to seeing an erection or something. Like, it's not always voluntary or whatever. They're probably just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm just not going to look. I'm just going to do this. But yeah.
What a sick fucking person.
He got arrested and he was charged with 10 counts of sexual battery, 10 counts of human trafficking, because labor can be considered human trafficking, and 1 count of possession of a controlled dangerous substance. At least 2 women found out about his lies only after he was arrested. And at one court hearing, one of the women described how learning the truth changed her outlook on the world. I used to believe that almost everyone in the world was inherently good. In this case, I was wrong, the unnamed woman said. Lawyers for Dees claim that he suffers from issues related to substance abuse and poor mental health, and that his actions stemmed from sexual trauma he did experience as a child. Like, listen, there is no excuse.
No excuse.
Ugh, just sickos.
Nasty.
Perverts just out there in the world.
Well,
oh, God.
Dumb asses.
That's just
sick.
For real. Dumb ass. You're
sick.
a real sick puppy, you know
sick
that?
Sick ass.
Oh, my God. Now we've heard it all.
Oh, God.
I feel like that after so many episodes, at the end of them, I'm always like, God, I feel like I've heard everything
I
now.
know.
Until the next week.
Wears me out, man.
It really takes a toll on it. Hey, you guys never think about what a toll this is taking on us. Come on. No, we fucking love it. Tell me all the weird shit.
Tell us all the weird shit. We love it.
You can tell us yourselves. Write to us, obitpod@gmail.com. Follow us online at obituarypod on Twitter and Instagram. Leave us
Get a cameo from us.
Get us a cameo for once. Come on. You're always asking us for cameos.
Send us your cameo.
Yeah. And rate and review on iTunes and Spotify and wherever you're listening. We love you guys. We'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners,
obituaries,
and dumb
ass
criminals.
criminals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.